air. 6 feet. 6 feet is the answer to this. But that is a blessing. Yeah. It's a blessing because we have hope in the resurrection of the body. Because this our flesh will end here with decay. But what is most important to our Creator is our soul that is precious to Him. The soul. And that's why the gospel continues to encourage you to guard against this soul, to preserve this soul. Not allow any iota of sin not to stain the soul. Preserve it. Whether we like it or not, my dear brothers and sisters, you see this journey of life. It's journey that sometimes when you reflect on it, if you are someone that has ego, you begin to rethink or have a rethink about it. Because that thing will not lead you to anywhere. Cool down and live your life. Having said all this, because our reflection today has no more impact or anything useful to our Father. It is for us who are still living. That's why and I will share an experience that will teach you that whatever you think you are today, as you are placing your ego, as you are massaging your ego, before God, you are nothing. If you think that you are indispensable, I am the breadwinner of my house. I am the pillar of my house. Without me, my brother will not survive. Without me, you are just wasting your time. You are just like that. Choose. Because after 1 hour of your death, or rather after burial, the cry that used to be as big as anything you can think begin to subside. And your family goes home and start taking care of their relatives with food and privileges. No, be so. Just 1 hour. They sometimes say, if I die today, all of you will suffer. Yeah, what's your time? They will not suffer. They only cry for hours. And once you land inside that 6 feet, 2 hours, people begin to struggle for food. To share food to their friends, to share food to their beloved ones. And business, meanwhile, your body meets the soul. Your body that you have been rubbing cream all these years to turn from out black to white because you are in Belgium. All of them will turn to us. Thank God, not my people of God, the people that I'm talking about, they are in outside here. 2 hours after your death, just 1 hour, your body meets the what? The soil. And I just want to trace or describe that this life is something that you begin to look at it from another perspective. You begin to value your soul more than this normal flesh. You begin to see it that no one is indispensable. You begin to move or tilt towards God, who is your creator. You begin to focus attention on your God, who will judge you after your regular existence. 2 hours after death, there are those who call their house and make excuses for not being there to attend their funeral. Meanwhile, some people are in their house, start talking about sports, and so on and so on. Some will make phone call. Oh, I couldn't make it. My car broke on the way. Oh, my wife is in the level. And so on and so on. Even right there, after sharing food, some people have started discussing about Belgium match and Spain match yesterday. Imagine, you are gone. You are gone. And they begin to talk how Lukaku was crying, how the man was scoring goal. You are finished, your goal is gone. We thought that when you die today, people will cry and cry and cry to cry till their kingdom come. It's not possible. Your position, take another take. After just a few hours, your internal organs begin to dissolve. Meanwhile, messages are come from people who do not know that you are dead, but you can arrive even inside your mobile phone. Yeah. There are some people who are not even aware that Bernard is dead. His friends in Germany, another part of the world, if case don't take it, they are still sending him text message because they have not been told that is the reality of life. And we are gone. They are sending him text message, how about the business? They are finished. Then their internal organ has already started doing what? Decay. After around 30 hours, and only their immediate family remains, and every other person returns home and starts planning for their next activity. That's the world. Today, or in Ghana, the day that our father will be buried, it's just a question of time. People begin to return to their various houses, leaving the family members alone, leaving the in-law and the family alone. You will see the reality of death. Because everybody must go home and begin to face their business. So when you look at things from this perspective, you need to use your ego, your balloon, and be simple. An anticipation of the day the Lord will call you. After 3 days, interviews are held with candidates to fill their vacant position at their workplace. The work where they carry for head today. Nobody. After 3 days, the company will continue to move, and they begin to do what? To make their contribution again. To fill in the gap. The position you occupied before, when you are still alive. And at that particular point in time, you are gone and gone forever. After 2 weeks, your children will meet with the lawyer for property sharing, and your nails and teeth begins to fall out. Property will become the problem. Lawyer come. Read the will, begin to be the problem, and talk of the day that time. You see, sometimes some of us are struggling day in, day out, stepping on people's toes, making unnecessary enmity with people that you ought to be in good relationship with because you want to build mansion in Ghana. 2 weeks or 3 weeks after your death, they will invite the lawyer come. If you happen to come from a polygamous family, you are finished. You are finished. They will find people on top of your grave, trying to struggle over your property. And by then, remember, your soul is still struggling because you offended a lot of people. 5 days later or more than that, your daughters and sons return to their work, and your body turns from green to red as your blood begins to rot, and so on and so on. And 10 years later, a friend sees and remembers you, and in old pictures, all that remains of you are just like a book. That is life. When they say in the picture, oh, I remember this person, oh, we are in Belgium. That's all. And life goes on. And a year later, someone say, wow, is that all? It is like yesterday. Now reconsider the people and event that you are next today. And do you think that it's worth it? All the necessary enmity we make, all the struggle and suffering, and how we punish and lord it over people, does it worth it? What is most important thing is their soul. That's why our Father's death is supposed to be a lesson to all, each and every one of us here, that one day we must answer this call. And one thing about humans is that once we have the impact of the death of a beloved one, we begin to change our way of life because fear of death will come face to face with all that time. You see it all of all. We begin to adjust. I remember when I was in Nigeria, traveling from Port Harcourt to Enugu, inside my Venza car, I was playing what we call pop music, that is the video. I was enjoying it. I was speeding. Coming down very close to one junction, I noticed an accident that claimed a lot of people. I came out from my car, carrying my sickle bag, and administered the sacrament to the dying. But after administering that sacrament, I went back to my car. Nobody told me to change the music from pop music to Christian music. Asking God to remove accident on the way. I started playing Christian music. Oh Lord, my God, how excellent is that? I was driving. But not up to 3 or 4 hours. That thing in me, I changed from Christian music back to pocket world music before arriving in. That is the reality about death. When we encounter the death of a beloved one like this, sometimes we title towards becoming a what? A changed person. Oh, I don't know. I may be the next person. Oh, I don't know what becomes my fate tomorrow. But the question of 2 or 3 days, we go back to our old way of life. Let the death of our brother and father Bernard be a lesson to each and every one of us that one day we must answer this call this way. A consolation to the daughter and the mother. It is the will of God. I saw the mother trying to pour out the love, the relationship that existed or that still exists between the daughter and the father. I was moved. And thank God for the time and hour and energy spent for this man. He will remain eternally grateful to you for that. You showed him love. You were there. Even at the point that he was not capable of taking care of himself, he was still inside. Unlike some who live less than fair attitude, you know, we are Africans, I think 90% of people. I don't envy some of you, you know that. Hope is the best when it comes to good things. You know that. Because there you see people who will be coming around you every now and then to ask you, Papa, how are you? Papa, how did they grow you? Papa, I hope you have eaten. Papa, I hope today is better than yesterday. We know the system here. It is the opposite of what we used to encounter back then. But this young girl was with the father, 2-4, 3-4, always consoling him, telling him that he go better. Ride on, I'm with you. And that's why I thank you and I pray that God will reward you for all the sacrifices made for him. And we pray in this mass, asking God to give him a seat in the right hand of the Father, where he will be in better position to be interceding for you, your mother, and all his friends who have gathered to tell him goodbye. But as we bid him goodbye today, as we return back to Ghana, let us remember that one day people will gather in this form to talk about you, to preach someone about you. Don't allow the priest to lie. Don't allow the pastor to lie before you. Because sometimes you people used to put us priests and pastors in a tight corner. Have you ever seen any pastor or priest during burial of this lecture begin to talk ill about the dead? We normally say he was a good man. He was very active in the church. He was involved in his family. Sometimes the possibility of us lying is there because we don't know how to say it. That made a pastor and a child inside the church. The priest was preaching, talking good about the father, and the young boy asked the mother, Mama, are you sure it's our father that is inside that garden? Let me go and check. Because what the priest is saying is the opposite of that man. Don't allow us to be embarrassed in the church that point. The only shortcut to it begins to live a good life so that during your own time you have the moral right and the moral stand to tell the people who you wear and ask God to help you as you enter your gratification. And may God help us and allow our Father to have that abode that he has been longing for all these years through Christ our Lord. Amen.